Hey guys, it's me, Cute Fuzzy Weasel, and I just want to make a video. I just do. It's been like 2 weeks. I've been... Ooh, this is gonna sound great. I've been busy. For real though, I have actually been busy with stuff outside of school. Been working on the book, which I want to get at least 50% final rough draft edit done by the end of the year. I've been working on the movie review, which is going way slower than I thought it was going to go because of some unforeseen hardware fucks. And I'm learning Flash, which is kind of difficult. I'm doing it because I've got this high concept Feeding the Trolls episode that I've been planning for 3 years, and it involves Flash, so I kind of gotta learn it. Anyway, I felt inspired to do this story by a YouTuber whose name I can't fucking remember off the top of my head. Son of a ass. Son of a dick ass. He's seriously pretty fucking good. Like, really, really fucking good, actually. He's called TheBurgerkrieg. This is his channel. I'm just gonna do some capturing. He did a video on basically the elitism of literary fiction. For those of you who don't know, in academia, and it is pretty much just academia, when it comes to fiction, there's sort of a popular class system involved. You've got literary fiction, which is Moby Dick, Dostoevsky, let's see, who else? Chekhov. All the ones that I can think of are like Russian. And then you've got genre fiction, which is everything else. Everything else sucks. Now, I'd recommend you watch his video on it because he goes into the hypocrisy of the whole system in much better detail than I'm going to be able to, considering that to do this video, I had to turn the AC off, and it is now rapidly, yep, it's back up to 80. It was 76 when I turned it off 5 minutes ago, but someone who lives below me, I think, can't control their body temperature, so I think they just leave their heat on all day, every day. I'm genuinely concerned. Like, seriously, I think she keeps it on 90. She's gonna light the whole fucking building on fire. But I wanted to add to the conversation because I have a personal stake in that whole ridiculous system. As a prospective author, I'm gesturing towards my book, which is up here on the monitor that's next to me that you can't see. But also because I lost a friend to this shit. So what happened was I took an intro to fiction writing class last semester because it was just something that interested me. You know, writing is a passion of mine. I don't do it enough, but it really is. And in this class, I met this guy. We're gonna call him Willits, because I can't use his real name, because I respect privacy. Willits, like me, is an older student, much older, actually. I think he's in his 60s. And he's genuinely a nice guy, kind of. He's got a short temper, tends to blow things, like, way out of proportion. But me and Willits, like, you know, we were kind of tight. Like, we'd walk from the building to the parking lot, you know, long fucking walks, have nice conversations with people. It was someone who I could have conversations with that wasn't 5 to 8 years younger than me, which is happening so fucking much since I decided to go back to school. You know how many 21st birthdays I've heard of? A lot of them. Everyone's excited because they can drink, and then the excitement wears off in 3 days. Trust me, if any of you are about to turn 21, it's exciting for about an hour. Then it's... So anyway, like, Willits had a huge fucking issue with sci-fi. Like, really big fucking issue with sci-fi. He hated it. He described it as, like, floating rocks and planets and laser beams and other bull crap that's not real. What's real is Dostoevsky, Trotsky. No, wait, not Trotsky. He wasn't a fucking communist. Dostoevsky, I remember vividly because he got concerned about the grades he was getting in the class because our teacher, and if you ever see this, look, it's true. The grading system is weird, okay? It just is. But he was pissed off about it, and he just started railing off against everybody. Just fucking talking down about every fucking person in that goddamn class. And he just started this tirade against science fiction. And I kept my mouth shut during it because, you know, I could tell he was pissed off about other things. A few months later, right, we're hatching this plan because we both kind of got into flash fiction from an assignment. And we're like, he was like, okay, you know, when school is up, we'll send each other prompts to do flash fiction. I was like, okay, yeah, all right, we'll do that. And I email him, like he was doing a contest where he had to speculate about life in the Triangle area 100 years from now. And I emailed him about how the contest was going, and I sent him some links to another YouTube page that you should check out, Science and Futurism with Issac Arthur. Seriously, check this guy out. Fuck. Yeah, it's 85. It's just 85 now. So he said he quit, and I emailed him back, and I said, hey, well, you know what? You should, I'm gonna send you some sci-fi prompts for the thing that you want to do between us. And he's like, no, don't do that. I don't like science fiction. I was like, why? I don't understand why you don't like it. Like, what have you got against it? And he emailed me this fucking goddamn dumbass article. You can find it by looking up literary fiction Huffington Post. Like, that's where it is. And I read it, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Because the guy is saying, like, listen, you can write genre fiction and sell 1 million copies of a book, but would you really want to? And at the end of the fucking piece, he says, literary fiction is the only writing where the author's soul can really speak through the page, and it can really touch on fundamental aspects of the human condition. And I wrote him back. I sent the email back to Willits, and Willits is like, and I told Willits, like, I copied the last paragraph, and I said, this is fucking horseshit. It is. For this guy, the writer of that fucking article, to say, like, no, you can't, if you're writing science fiction, then it doesn't speak to your soul. So I can't put my mark, I can't put a fundamental aspect of me in the fucking book I'm writing because it's science fiction? Get fucked, asshole! You mean to tell me that science fiction fantasy can't speak to some fundamental aspect of the human fucking condition? Really? That it can't shape society? Well, I know about 1,000 fucking Trekkies who have gone on to make real improvements in modern life, gone on to fucking work at NASA, who have gone on to go into the fucking space shuttle, gone on to build shit out there, actually expand humanity's horizons, who might fucking disagree with you, dickhead. And TheBurgerkrieg goes into this fucking hypocrisy for it because, yeah, the rules governing what is and isn't literary fiction, they're fucking arbitrary. 1984 is considered literary fiction. When that shit came out, it was science fiction. And guess what? It fucking predicted a bunch of shit. You think this thing isn't a telescreen? It's a fucking screen that has a goddamn camera on it, inside of it. I don't fucking know if someone's watching me through this or not. About the only goddamn thing I can do is put tape over it, which I did. But then it's got a microphone on it, and the only way to disable that, like really honestly disable that, is to open the goddamn thing up and cut the wires. But none of that really fucking matters, because I got this goddamn thing. And I can't cut the wires to its mic, because then it won't fucking work. And you don't think thought crime isn't a thing now? Or doublespeak? Or the idea of perpetual war? You don't think those were things that happened? Or like Brave New World, where the whole idea is doping yourself up so you don't see how shitty everything is. You don't think that's something that happens now? But no, sci-fi has no worth to fucking society. It's just fucking floating rocks and lasers and planets and shit. The authors who wrote that are just plebeians making little pamphlet picture books for the general dumb masses. Not us in fucking academia who teach the classes. No. We will tell you, we'll read you real stories. Like, I don't know, the story of two people who decide to blow their fucking brains out in a sedan in the middle of the desert because they're both suffering from cancer, so they kidnap a drug lord, but then they let him go. I don't know, I'm just trying to come up with something off the top of my head that I wouldn't find very interesting. And I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't. No, but that is fucking glorious fiction! That will shape fucking society. People in tweed jackets will talk about that on morning talk shows that no one fucking watches. But Harry Potter, this massively successful multi-billion-dollar book series that's shaped the lives of countless people for the better. What the fuck is that? That's just fucking genre fiction. That's fantasy and shit. No one takes that stuff seriously. That can't speak to some fundamental aspect of the human condition. No, we need a story about, I don't know, an office worker who, comes out to his boss because he wants to be his boss's lover, and then, the two of them get, I don't know, promoted or something. And they get promoted, they have to share an office together, and they both, fall in love over their joint passion for, coffee. That is far and away superior to anything of the works of such banal authors as Arthur C. Clarke or Douglas Adams. Who are they? So I wrote back to Willits and I said, this article's fucking bullshit. And he just flips the fuck out. And he says, well, that was written by someone who had way more degrees than you. It's like, so what? I don't care if he's got more degrees than me. That doesn't mean his opinion is better. And we went back and forth over it, and we fucking dropped out. Not out of school. I mean, we dropped out of the friendship over fucking email. And since then, honestly, I've really thought about writing back, like, hey, you know what? We had a disagreement of opinion. Sorry, maybe I stepped over the line. And every time I start to write that email, no, because the professors who push this bullshit have wormed their way into his brain. Because science fiction is just space and rocks and boulders and shit that float around and it doesn't affect society. And it's not real fiction. Not like Dostoevsky, Isabella Allende. Like that shit. And that's okay. That's literary fiction. That's real. And it's totally fucking arbitrary. I've seen dozens and dozens of fucking short stories in the various writing groups that I've been a part of that are exactly like that would get laughed out of those groups because that's just plebeian stuff. That's not real fiction. And to be honest, this fucking attitude has really kind of made me not interested in pursuing the language arts on a collegiate level, at school, at the very fucking least. It really has. Because to be honest, if I'm going to be in a class where someone's going to put the fucking book down and say, that thing that you really like, that thing that you're really passionate about, that book that you've been writing and sinking months and months and years of your time into, fuck it. It's science fiction. It doesn't mean anything. No, you need to write a story about, an old couple that have a failing marriage, so the husband gets a younger lover who agrees to have sex with him while the older wife watches, and then they get a pet squirrel. Far better than the Andromeda Strain!